Hello everyone, Doctor. I'm drberkkkaratas. Constantly sexual, that is, constantly thinking about sex, constantly wanting sex, talking about it, etc. Are these normal or not? We'll be looking into that. Of course, there are people like that around you. These types are immediately called perverts. They are always sexually active, etc., etc. I want to discuss which situations are normal or abnormal. Sexual desire is normal and can vary from low to high. First of all, having sexual desire in a person is a very normal thing. It's also very normal for it to be low, moderate, or high. It can vary from person to person. Now, regarding sexual desire, we mentioned in previous videos that there are three types: spontaneous, which can be low, moderate, or high, and reactive, which can be emotional, logical, material, easy, moderate, or not at all. Today, our topic is spontaneous sexual desire, but in excess. First of all, this is a very normal situation. Today, our topic is spontaneous sexual desire, but in excess. First of all, this is a very normal situation. Up to this point, having a high level of sexual desire, talking a lot about sexuality, and being in search of sexual experiences, even in large amounts, is all normal. Because, as I mentioned earlier, instincts like the reproductive drive, the hunger drive, and the shelter drive can be low in some people, moderate in others, and high in some. This is a situation in sexuality. Up to this point, it's normal. So, when will we understand whether this is normal or abnormal? You have a strong desire, you're in search of something. That's when it turns into action. So, what are you doing? Okay, you have a strong sexual desire, but what are you doing about it? That's when we can say it's normal, abnormal, or even a disorder. For example, let me give you an example. You have the desire, you're in search, and the right environment and time are there. All right, there's also a suitable partner, and you're engaging in sexual activity with your partner. Frequency varies, significance counts. They can engage with their partner 3 times, 5 times, even 50 times a month at this stage. What you're doing doesn't matter much. Here, there is no abnormality or problem as long as it's suitable for both parties. There is no abnormality or a problem as long as it's suitable for both sides. If there isn't a suitable partner, they would masturbate in an appropriate way. So this is the topic of sexual activity without a suitable partner. I talk a lot about this in our traumatic masturbation videos and in our book. If a person masturbates appropriately or engages in sexual activity appropriately, there won't be any issues here. This situation is normal. We say there is no problem. This is stage we're at. If there's no suitable environment, time, or partner, this part can be postponed. I intentionally put this mention of postponement here. It's not about pressing or ignoring. Look, no impulse can be suppressed or ignored. Yes, you might be able to do it, but problems will start to arise in other areas, in different ways. So, if your sexual activity is high and there's no suitable environment, time, or partner, you need to postpone it. That's the truth. It's not about suppressing. It's about postponing a more suitable time, partner, etc. When I postpone something I'm going to do by myself, it means I'll do it later. This can also be considered normal. So, if a person's sexual drive is high and they continue like this, there's no problem at all. It doesn't concern anyone. So, you have a sexual desire, you're in search. There's a suitable environment, time, and partner, but you're suppressing it. It's the exact opposite of what we just talked about. You're ignoring it. What you are ignoring here is not actually about not having sexual intercourse, or not masturbating, or not seeing anyone, and so on. What you are suppressing and ignoring is your sexual drive. And as I mentioned earlier, if the drive's suppressed, serious problems can arise. So, there is a suitable environment, time, etc., but there is no partner, and you prefer random sexual encounters. This is a bit controversial. If this situation is continuous, your sexual relationships aren't normal. If you do this, occasionally it's a fantasy, but if you do this at certain intervals, once a year, twice a year, 5 times, or just once in your life, it can also be considered a fantasy So it's important to pay attention to this as well. Another situation is that you don't have a suitable partner. You are engaging in sexual acts without a partner in an inappropriate way. So you are masturbating, and the masturbation you are doing is traumatic masturbation. As I've mentioned many times in videos with various examples, I've also written a book on this. Traumatic masturbation will return to you in your sexual life with problems such as erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, delayed ejaculation, inability to ejaculate, lack of sexual desire, and lack of pleasure. This is also abnormal. You shouldn't do this either. What's the most troubling thing? The most troubling thing is this. Let's not just call this an abnormality anymore. You can roughly see it as sexual perversion or a disorder. You have a strong sexual desire and you are in search. You don't consider any suitable environment, time, or partner at all. You are engaging in sexual acts with random partners or without a partner. This random engagement in sexual relations with the first person that comes your way in an inappropriate environment and time is referred to as nymphomania in women. And in men, it's called satyriasis, which means excessive sexual activity. The same applies to masturbation. So, the house is crowded and so on, and you go to the bathroom for just 3 to 5 seconds and you end up masturbating. For example, this is also troubling. The time and place are not suitable, nothing is appropriate, but you are doing it and you are doing it frequently. Then, here too, it is called abnormal sexual perversion, etc. We can say that. So that's roughly what I wanted to explain. What's important is this. I repeat, having low, moderate, or high sexual desire is a normal thing. You can't judge a person just because they have a high sexual desire or because they talk a lot and do a lot. We need to look at what the person is doing. Focus on actions, not words or desires. If actions align with normal behavior, it's normal. If not, it's abnormal and needs quick correction. Seek help if corrections fail. These abnormalities need to be corrected very quickly. If these cannot be fixed, you need to get help. You may first need to correct yourself. You should. If you think of it as a behavioral issue, but still can't correct it, then you might need to seek help from a specialist, a sex therapist, or people who are involved in this field. Thank you.